So everyone has been talking about the Fever's kind of backup point guard and center situation. And I'm going to be honest, the Fever don't need a backup. They don't need a backup center. I do think the Fever need a third string center. One of those last two spots off the bench should be a really, like an athlete, a big athlete. Which is why I think at 19 or 20, they're probably going to take, I think the best player there is like a Rhea Marshall. Just as a big defender. She's not an offensive player. Just a big athletic defender. She's the best defender for USC. And just in case they're getting killed by a center, basically. But Damiris Dantas is somebody that 100% is looking so much better. Like, if you guys don't know, Damiris Dantas was injured to start last season, and she was slow. Like, she was slow. She wasn't in the greatest shape in the world. And, like, we saw last year, she could shoot the ball. Like, her shot was getting better. And, like, this is what Damiris Dantas is moving like right now. Like, her shot was always good. Her shot has been there. She could score. She was just so slow. This is Damiris Dantas right now playing in Turkey. And by the way, she is hooping in Turkey. Just take a look. Look at her under the basket here. Look at how fast she's running. Look at that. She just ran a fast break layup, but I get it. These players aren't as fast as W players, and she's still going to be slow by WNBA standards. But, like, it's still impressive. And look at what she did. Look at what she did last week. Listen, look at what she did. She's playing against Besiktas, who are a really good team. And look who's guarding her. Temi. Bang. Hits a three. Like, Temi's trying to guard her in the post. Oh, let me shoot the Dantas fade right there. We got the Dirk fade. Nah, there's the Dantas fade. Once she got to the Dantas fade, it's a given. She scored. She's coming off those screens, getting it inside. Easy finish over Temi right there. Like, she's cooking Temi. Like, everyone's complaining about the Fever losing Temi. Dantas gets it from Caitlin range. Bang! Like, what she's able to do, like, she's moving so much better than she was, even last season when she was playing. But, like, she is now stepping up and becoming one of the best players in the Turkish league. Just look at how much, like, the shape she's in compared to when she was in the WNBA season last year. Like, she was out injured, and it looked like she had bricks attached to her feet. She's got that Dantas fade. I still don't like her at the 4, but, like, she's got that ability to score from anywhere. And look, the Turkish league, she's being guarded by Temi. So this isn't like they're playing a zone. She can shoot teams out of that. Like, it's not like Temi is a bad player by any means. And she's on a team-friendly $90K a year contract. That's a big one. She had 26 points in a win against Besiktas on 17 shots. Had a few in Temi's grill. And if you look at how she's been playing this season, again, I don't have her stats for the entire year. Actually, I do on Eurobasket. Look at her stats for the year. So, obviously, it's the start of the year. They, 13, 22, 27, 11, 18, 26, 17, 15, 14, 16, 18, 23, 19, 26. She's shooting 35% from 3, 51% from 2, and is averaging 19 points per game in the second top league in the world outside, like, other than the WNBA. Like, how are the team getting on? Where are they in these standings? They're 7th. So they're 7-10. They're in the playoffs. And, like, look, Lindsay Allen is a decent WNBA player. And Lindsay Allen on the season is averaging 15 points on not the greatest. So it's like the two of them are probably their two main players as far as this team is concerned. And, like, if you look at some of the other teams in this league, like, Merson are insanely good. Like, they have got Rupert, they've got Natasha Howard, they had Carly Samuelson for a while, they have Bridget Carlton playing for them, they had Maureen Johannes at one stage. If you look at Besiktas, they're Dana Evans, I'm pretty sure starts. You've got Temi, you got Holly Winterburn, who's a hell of a player. Like, Holly Winterburn's really, really good. Like, again, she's someone who is W-ish level. Galatasaray of Julie Van Loo, Leah Rue, and if you're looking at Fenerbahce, might be a top 4 seed in the WNBA. MMA Simon, Tina Charles, Julie Alamond, Uzun, Gabby Williams, or Ariel Atkins on the team. Like, last season, like, if you look at their registered roster, it was like Messamon. It was like Messamon, Alamond, Uzun, Fee Collier, Kayla McBride, Satu, and they have Niara Sabli as well. But this is a really strong league. And what Dantas is doing has been one of the better players in this league. She's been the best player on a solid team. And like, it's just how she's doing it. She's shooting the 3-ball well, and she's in so much better shape. Like, I do think the backup center, they need 2 backup centers. They need your new Temi. Like, Temi was not this spectacular offensive player. Yes, she was a much better offensive player than Rhea Marshall. Like, you've got it. I'll admit that. But you need that Danta/Temi combo. You need your running backup center, and you need your like slower scoring backup center, because there are going to be lineups where Dantas is going to be out there and with Boston, or Marshall's going to be out there with Boston for kind of like non-shooting, just more defense, and like Marshall's is athletic. Like, I do think Marshall's going to go with that 18th pick, by the way. And like, looking at other players in the draft, like, how bad is, like, I know, like, I don't know how I feel about taking Sedona Prince. There's baggage there that comes with Sedona Prince. I wonder, is the situation with Ayoka Lee's injury? Like, if Ayoka Lee is available, I think that would be an interesting take. Like, she's what, 6'6". She's old. She is an older player, but I just don't know. Is she she's got a fractured foot. So like, if she's available at that spot, you would maybe consider taking Ayoka Lee. And that would be something that would be really interesting. But I do think that the backup center is the Damiris Dantas is to lose. It is. I get it. She played more power forward in this Fever system. She's not going to play there. She's faster than Leah Boston. Like, especially in the shape she's in now. Like, Damiris Dantas was not in the best shape last year. She was slow, kind of sluggish. Her ability to guard the pick and roll was horrific. And I was not a fan of Damiris Dantas because Christy Sides was playing her a power forward. Christy Sides, when Dantas was on the floor, the reason the team was so bad was the team couldn't run. They could not run when Dantas was on the floor. And the reason they couldn't run when Dantas was on the floor was basically they weren't really able to obviously they weren't able to push anything because they had 2 slow players. When she was on without Boston, I didn't mind it, but when she was on with Boston, I thought it was a big issue. But yeah, like, everyone's talking about the Fever needing a backup center and looking at Tina Charles. I don't think they need to waste that type of money on Tina Charles. First of all, they don't have the money. They literally have. If you guys don't know, the Fever have not a couple of non-guaranteed contracts that they can cut in training camp. And that would be like your Saxtons, your Jaylen Browns, your 2 second-round picks, whoever they take, and potentially an overseas player. But it's all of them fighting for 1 roster spot, unless they can get off a player. I wouldn't be that surprised to see them lose their first to get off Katie Lou. Like, if you're a team that has infinite cap space like the Valkyries, you might just take an extra first-round pick just to take a bad salary for a year, because you're not going to be good, and they're laying down for Latson. So I think I have a weird feeling they might be able to get off the Katie Lou contract. Like, I actually think it's possible, but it would involve literally sending her to the Valkyries. And there might be like other teams looking to get off some contracts, and the Valkyries can take them. If I'm the Valkyries, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a bunch of bad contracts to allow teams more flexibility, and then I'm allowing and then what I'm doing is I'm taking the bad contract for flexibility, and I'm after that going to try to just get as many draft picks as possible, or maybe turn them into something, because Valkyries are going to suck. But yeah, like, a lot of people are talking about taking X, Y, and Z. I think in the draft there's going to be a lot of players. There's going to be, like, again, Sedona Prince is going to be there. The reason I wouldn't take Sedona Prince is nothing to do with basketball. Ayoka Lee, if she's healthy, is a good pick up there. Rhea Marshall's there. I don't see Sanaya Fagan dropping to 19. If Sanaya Fagan dropped to 19, it would be something, but she's not big enough, if you get me. And she's doesn't play with a high enough motor. Like, the team does need a defensive anchor at center, and it's impossible to find that player on a minimum, unless you go to, like, again, you go overseas. It's the only way to get that player, because right now they're better on defense. Their backup centers, they're one spot where they missed on defense, and I do think they just need another backup center there. So because there are some games that'll be Dantas games, there'll be some games that will be whoever the other backup center is, but it's not like they don't need to spend big money. They don't need a big name. Because the way Damiris Dantas is playing right now, she would be absolutely incredible at that position. Hopefully. Hopefully.